Okay, the way that we could shake off the Fed bank institution, the corporate uniform corporate commercial code, and the way that to shake it off is actually the only recourse that we have, right? Is this: pay state tax, buy land. Uh, so you're paying state tax on land, and then start like co-op businesses that basically just pays for whatever provisions that you need in order to live off of the land. One of the key components, believe it or not, for the federal state bank institution is celebrity. Like, why do you like a person? Do you like them because they can dance, or they can sing, or they can act, or they might play ball? Like, maybe they play ball. And that, of course, the last one has two kind of applications. Um, if we take ourselves away from the use of money over time eventually, and learn sustainable ways to live clean existence, which is the only recourse you have, and you're going to need guns, then they basically like can't liquidate the leverage on your head, on your social security, because you're not dumb and stupid and dumb. They have to show how you can be mediated, how your lives can be mediated for the interest of whatever parties that you would like to speculate were being turned over to in the transaction, right? Because the land, you can't own the land, but all of the people tells you whether or not you have no recourse, or if you have a recourse. Like, are we owning land, or we're not owning land? If we are owning land, then hopefully the people who do own land are also people who teach what they know, and because like, there's the worst thing is a person with no skills, because then they only can do is prostitution, some form of sex work. So and of course nobody thinks of sex work as their first choice. Some people do, very rarely, right? It's a certain type of personality, but then I don't want to even say who that is. I don't really know. Like, it's so there's no reason to get excited about the Fed going away, because as long as we are relying on the use of the fiat, and you are being taxed and everything, then you kind of like, we kind of get what we put out there. And we can all do it individually. I could do it for myself and not worry about everybody else anymore. As long as I have my land, and I know that it's going to be a deterrent for anyone to try and crash the gate or whatever. And then, like, if there's more people thinking this way, then there's more room for people to make mistakes and to fail, because you have like 1 out of 10 people. One person takes care of 10 friends and family who are of the same similar mindset. Then you might not be the one to succeed, but if there's 10 people like you, then somebody will be able to provide you that equity base to be able to start building up some momentum in your financial freedoms. Because, like, not everybody is going to get there to MIT and like the career path of, like, where you may or may not have to play ball. I don't want to worry about that anymore, because I really don't want to have to worry about anybody anymore. It's like, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. We came up with terms like humanist and racist and shit that don't exist, and then over time you're just being told over and over and over and over and over and over again that it's a thing, until it's like unheard of that anybody could say that. And then if you try to say that racism doesn't exist, you're in a lot of trouble. But I just like, like unless like like you would know. Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of double standard. I'm gonna say it for all the people who can't say it. Like it's been bullshit. It's weaponized terminology, and I'm not fucking with it anymore. Um, it's an ism, like some you could just invent shit. The other day, somebody was inventing terminology, prude culture, and homogenist, because he was mad that somebody didn't want to dox themselves or give their pics, sexual body parts. Like he wanted, like it was weird. Like, he was a feminist, but then he catted off and started going on some other shit, and then he wanted to convince, because he never wanted to admit that he lost, that he's losing, like that he has no recourse. He never wanted to admit that, so try to just fool other people to get them to think that it's normal, then and win that way. Because if you're not willing to, see, like I don't even want to know anybody like that. Bullet, you know. Like knowing somebody like that, or bullet. Like, see, if you don't know anybody, then you don't have to. Then that's one more extra bullet that you can keep in your, um, you know, because those are expensive, right? And you're not coming nowhere near my children. Like, like, you gonna let your children hang out at Kathy Gifford's house or on a slumber party? Like, they're gonna be lesbians, man. Like, it's a setup. Like,